Setting a trail camera is a real art form, and I have learned by making an awful lot of mistakes. One of the earliest mistakes I made setting cameras, I set it on a field and the sun was rising in the morning. Well, guess what? That sun hits the lens and it blows it out. Wherever possible, try to point your camera on a north-south direction and not an east-west direction. You also have to be critical on how high you set your camera. Remember, it's easy to set it here, it's convenient. Where's the deer gonna be when they walk by? Now this Reconex actually has a cool feature. I can set it to walk by mode where it'll flash at me so I know the perspective that's gonna trigger that camera to catch that deer's movement. So that's critical because so many times you set your camera, you look at your pictures, you have half a deer. So where you set it on height. Now, I don't like flashes on cameras. I like to go with the infrared mode because they don't really disturb the deer. Some people, they like the quality of the flashes. If I was using a flash camera, I would then take this camera and move it up here, 6 or 7 feet, and then take a stick and I would angle it down. So that way I'm not flashing that deer in the eyes, because it will startle a deer. And I have seen time and time again, if you spook a deer by a trail camera, they're then going to take a path and they're going to avoid that camera. So you can't inventory the deer, you can't use that information to hunt. And the last critical thing, when you set the cameras, always wear gloves, and after you set them, you want to spray down your camera, sun away spray, something to neutralize your odor that you've put in here so when these deer walk by, they never notice your camera.